Should we watch this Eevescape video?
Old school RuneScape is on track to becoming the biggest MMO in the world, and that is not an exaggeration. People know World of Warcraft for being the king of all MMOs, but they hide their player count. So while we can't get an exact number of players on either game, we can tell by player sentiment and viewership numbers on streams and videos that WoW is on the decline and old school RuneScape is on the rise. So what's the catch? Why is old school RuneScape becoming so popular? Well, it's a mixture of a couple of things. Old school RuneScape is consistently doing the right thing by their player base and trying to create a great experience for their players.
Agree.
And other MMOs are constantly doing the wrong things. Let's start with Mod North, Jagex's new CEO. CEOs will say anything to make everybody happy, but it's very rare that you'll hear a CEO say this.
How confident are you can maintain the revenue that you need whilst also making the changes to support players? This feels like a very difficult objective you've set yourself.
It is hard.
That's a great question to ask a developer. That's probably the hardest thing to do as a developer, is make your players happy who are generally anti-pay to win. And to make a game profitable, the easiest way to do that is to go pay to win or add things in the game where people can buy like microtransactions and stuff like that. And Jagex has been able to maintain old school RuneScape without having to go that route, which is admirable and why most people are probably still playing this game. So I commend them for that.
It is. We probably won't maintain the revenue that we currently are when we make these changes. That's the truth. But equally, if we're taking a 10, a 15, a 25-year view, you know, some short-term pain is probably worth the restoration of the game if we can get to that point. And that's the experiment that we're running, and that's the bet that we're hoping to take.
I'm sure you can tell by looking at me and the fact that I play RuneScape 17 hours a day as my main source of income. I'm not willing to take a small financial hit to guarantee my health in the future. But CEOs never tell the shareholders or anybody that they're gonna make less money. Short-term investments is how the world works, and you can tell by the fact that Jagex has been sold 3 times in the past 6 years that that's what happens. New company comes in, tries to make a little bit of money, and tries to sell the company for a profit. But you can tell by this that Mod North plans on the long game. I was very critical of Mod North when he first started at Jagex because of his work history and the fact that the previous 3 CEOs have all said the same thing and then dipped. But I think this one feels different. Mod North also knows what to target: microtransactions. RS3 is plagued with them, and over the last couple of weeks, they've experimented with taking out different microtransactions to see how the player base reacts. Overall, Mod North is doing things that Jagex have never done before, looking at different business models, not only to appease shareholders, but to really play to the consumer, as of course, we are the bottom line. Right, now, enough of the business side of things. Obviously, that's very interesting to me. A very smart businessman. But let's get into some other things that make old school RuneScape so good. How does the game itself project its longevity? Old school RuneScape has something that other MMOs lack: horizontal progression. And you might be wondering to yourself, Jake, what's horizontal progression? I have no idea. I had someone write this script for me. So let's learn about it together as I...
That can't be real. There's no way. Horizontal progression is opposite of vertical progression, which is what retail WoW has, where like it's a seasonal game, meaning like everything that you get during that season will be useless at one point in time. Horizontal progression is the opposite of that, where everything you get in the game will always have use. So your T-bow will always, it might not be the best bow forever for each task that you do, but it's definitely going to always be the best for something. And that's basically horizontal progression. I mean, your old gear will never be completely useless.
I read through it. There's a fantastic video by Mad Season Show that perfectly describes OSRS's progression system. Once you have an item, you have that item forever, and different items are used for different reasons. Not every weapon upgrade is a weapon upgrade across the board for all different monsters, and the exact same with armor. Not all armor is the perfect armor for all occasions. Most importantly, old school RuneScape doesn't reset your progress. If you log in after being away for 6 months, you are no further or closer to completing your goal than you were 6 months prior. The progress is consistent. There's no FOMO. Now, what is FOMO? I don't need a script to tell me what this one is. It's the fear of missing out. Like when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and your best friend calls you up and says, hey, Jake, do you want to come down to this dirty, dingy basement club and do a whole bunch of speed and cocaine and then go to the strippers and I'm at home in bed and I go, well, I don't want to miss out on that. So I go. That's the fear of missing out, and it's the worst thing to happen to games. Thankfully, old school RuneScape has almost none of it. FOMO is things like dailies or temporary rewards. Dailies in old school RuneScape go as far as birdhouse runs, farm runs, or if you're really broke, buying battle stars from Zaf. If you don't do those things, you can easily make up for lost time. They're not going anywhere. Whereas FOMO in RuneScape 3, well, just look at this list. FOMO permeates in other games as well, games that have seasons or games where you start late into the game and you ask, is it even worth playing at this point? People are already so far ahead. Imagine a RuneScape League came out and you started 1 month in after everybody has already done everything and you're the only person that is doing the early game.
Guys, I feel this way about Gridmaster, and Gridmaster started yesterday. I was thinking about trying it, but then I heard that some people already beat it, and that instantly made me not want to even try it at all. Just knowing the fact that somebody beat it is enough power, is enough vertical progression for me to be like, okay, I'm out. And so that's like a very small example of vertical and horizontal progression and why people like the horizontal stuff.
Nobody wants to do that, but that is a choice that so many people that play WoW have to deal with. Another massive reason that old school RuneScape is about to grow even further than it already is the new skill that's coming out. I know many people in the community are on either side of the fence with this skill. Who knows whether there's a lot of people that like it, a lot of people that don't like it. I know going on Twitter, everyone seems to absolutely hate it, but I know a lot of people are excited for it as well. But you can't deny, whichever side of the fence you sit on, that a new skill coming to old school RuneScape for the first time will be a big deal. It'll be a huge deal. The marketing, the content creation, solo mission, getting that rank 1 thumbnail 13 minutes after the release of the skill. Everything's going to be churning at 100 miles an hour, and the player...
Damn, people really glaze solo mission. Is he that guy? Is he like the fastest person to ever level new skills? He's the guy. He's the fastest one to level.
Number is sure to go up. I know there's probably 100 people that are going to quit
He's
the
like
game
settled but
forever
more
because
efficient.
they lose their max cape and they're going to cry about it on a Reddit post. But 100 people gone, 1,000 people start playing. Come on. Now that's a trade-off the shareholders can get around. Off the back of sailing will come Raids 4, just a year later as well. They spoke about at RuneFest, how it's been too long since a new raid come out, so we can expect one in 2026. Having sailing into a new raid is a ton of new content with lots of other content in between, including a huge cap on the vampire questline. The end of 2025 is going to be crazy, and 2026 is slated to be great. Now, I mentioned
there's gonna be a
and
new Grandmaster quest. I forgot about that for the sequel to Sins of the Father, and that's coming out sometime next year. That's gonna be sick too. That's my favorite quest line in the game.
And RuneFest is back, which might not be a huge reason as to why the game is exploding, but it does mean that the game is in a healthy state. If Jagex is able to put on events like this, it means that they are doing well. Last point about the game itself, old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3 are Jagex's babies. They obviously have other small projects that they're working on, but these MMOs will always have the most resources dedicated to them, not only because of their tenure, but because of how intertwined they are with the company itself. There's meaningful history there and a lot of money. And finally, we have to talk about everybody's favorite subject. Content creation. Old school RuneScape has the best creators. Let's be real.
They do.
It's not even close. For a game of its size, the content creation is not proportionate. You have the community making new game modes, challenges, mini games, events, the list goes on. And for every idea that someone comes up with, there are hundreds of videos and series that try it out, or even sometimes Jagex make it a real game mode. I don't want to say that we invented Group Iron Man, but everybody remembers the original GIMP series, okay? That happened before Group Iron Man came out, and then Group Iron Man came out. Content creation around old school RuneScape.
RuneScape's players do kind of invent the modes that the game has today, right? That's true. I mean, it was the same thing in WoW. Like, a couple of people did hardcore WoW, and then literally they made it into an official server, game mode, everything a few years later.
Has no right being as big as it is, but the game allows for it. Old school RuneScape truly is an MMO sandbox. It gives content creators the freedom they need in order to flourish, and Jagex always helps as well. Well, most of the time, after you send them 60 emails and try and call them 15 times and go back and forth for years and years and years. They help, though. They do, I swear. Gildenor Games, Tile Man, Iron Man, Hardcore Iron Man, Leagues, Area Locked, Guideless, Combat Only, and a million other categories. And for each category, there are hundreds of videos and dozens of series to watch. Which, of course, brings us to all of the World of Warcraft content creators coming over. They've been absolutely blown away with how good old school RuneScape is, and almost all of them have stuck with it. And the ones that didn't, wait, were there any that didn't? Not only is it great that these World of Warcraft content creators have shown World of Warcraft players how great old school RuneScape is, it's also shown old players from old school RuneScape the joys of playing the game again for the first time. And if the new players coming over are having this much fun with it, it's a great sign. Jagex over the last 2 years have really fleshed out the mid game and made this sort of steady progression.
Damn, so us coming over and playing the game has made people come back and play that didn't or maybe haven't played for a long time? Is that anybody in the chat? Did the new movement inspire anybody to come back and play? Really? A lot of you guys, huh? That's awesome, man. Well, shit. Welcome back to the game, guys. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you.
With the addition of things like Scorius, Perilous Moons, the two giant bosses, you guys know what they're called. I've certainly killed them before. Yeah. The game is now inclined on a very steady slope that allows players to move from one piece of content to another very seamlessly. Now, of course, we have to mention that a lot of this is thanks to Jimmy. Don't act like you don't know who he is. He's the guy that decided he was going to try out World of Warcraft for the first time as an old school RuneScape player. Yuck. He really married the old school RuneScape and WoW communities together for a...
Guys, he actually did. I never really thought about it like that, but the whole reason I was thinking about coming over here and playing is because I had just played with Jimmy in WoW. I knew he was a RuneScape player, and he had just done this whole series about trying hardcore WoW, and I thought it was a great idea, and I was like, well, maybe I could use that same idea for RuneScape and make a series like he did because I thought it was so good. And yeah, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, Jimmy kind of did indirectly or unofficially sway us over here a bit.
Long time, the communities really scoffed at one another. But thankfully, now we can all agree that OSRS is better, and they were all crazy to be playing World of Warcraft to begin with. The game is hitting record numbers almost every single weekend. All right, let's just forget about the fact that there was a bit of a botting problem about a month ago. They've fixed it, okay? They've fixed it. The bots are gone. They're not coming back. The bots aren't coming back. The bots are probably coming back, but the player numbers, they've been skyrocketing. They've been going crazy. There's huge updates on the horizon. There's huge new content creators that are making their home in old school RuneScape. There's new content creators that are coming over every single day. Things are looking incredible. And if you've ever wondered, is it too late to start playing old school RuneScape? The answer is the perfect time to start playing old school RuneScape has and always will be right now. That's going to wrap it up for why old school RuneScape is going to become the biggest MMO in the world. Do you agree with me? let me know down in the comments. I'm not going to read a single one of them, but you know, you can talk to yourself down there. Thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video very soon.
Heck yeah.
Take it easy.
Guys,
Old
that
school
was a good EVscape video that he wrote himself. I think that was like cool to think about a lot of the points he was bringing up. Yeah, it was just good overall, man. I really enjoyed that. I'm glad we watched it.